Hey everybody, welcome to my kitchen. I'm really glad you're here. Today I'm going to show you how to make a tomato basil soup, and we're going to add a little twist at the end and make it just a tad bit creamy. It's delicious. Everybody loves it. Every time we do a potluck at work, or we're doing some kind of luncheon, birthday luncheon, we like to celebrate, and they always ask me to make this. So I'm making it tonight for some special birthdays tomorrow. So I'm gonna wait to post this video because it's a surprise and I don't want them to know about it. So anyway, it's not hard to make. It's super easy. And I've had a lot of people ask me and private message me and ask me what are some of the most favorite kitchen things that I love to use. And one of them is an immersion blender. If you've never used an immersion blender before, they're not hard. They're super simple. In fact, before I got my immersion blender, I used to put this, I've been making this soup for years. I used to just scoop it into my blender and mix it up that way. And you can do that. This is much easier and safer. And so I had potato soup, butternut squash soup. I make all of those in the fall and winter. So if that is your thing and you like creamy soups, I would advise you to pick one up. They have them at Kroger. And so anyway, this one is fire engine red. I always know where it is in my cabinet and I love it. And I'd love to give them as gifts too for people that love to be in the kitchen. So anyway, we'll come to that later. That is the very last thing that we are going to do. The first thing we're going to do is medium to high heat. I've already got my Dutch oven. This is another thing that, and I know it happens to be red. It's not coincidence, just by accident. I've had it forever. I love it. And I'm going to get a new one eventually, but I always go to this one because I just love it so much. Rough chopping. Everything doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to blend it all in the end anyway, so it's not going to matter. So what I've got is an onion, and I'm just giving it a sleeves up rough chop. Doesn't have to be just big. Got some olive oil in there, medium high heat, and celery stick. You, again, doesn't have to be perfect. And that is like the start of really any base soup. Chicken noodle soup. I make a really good chicken noodle soup. We'll film that another day. This is one whole celery. Again, it's rough. You don't have to be perfect about it. I posted a video the other day on chopping garlic. And I was using it for my homemade tomato marinara sauce. And I'm going to need about 8 garlic cloves. And you know, when you're just peeling, you don't have to mince it. It works great because I really just want to get that shell off of there. And if you've had a bad day and you need to get your aggression out, that's one way to do it. Okay, drop them in there. This also is going to make your house smell fantastic. Garlic, onion. Oh. Finished doing these. These are really big, so I don't know that I need a total of 8. We'll just do, I think that's 5. Do a couple more. So anyway, it's been a busy week, and I was telling the girls I work with I couldn't wait to come home and cook. Of course, people think I'm crazy, but it really is therapeutic for me. I've told you that before. It's calming and relaxing, and you know, it's just me in the kitchen, and now I have you, and your responses and your comments have been so kind. I love your questions, and sometimes people will ask me to make things I've never made before, but you know what? We can figure it out together. So anyway, okay, so that's a hot mess. Let's get that cleaned up. I've also shared that I am not the cleanest, most organized cook. So, I've got 3 Roma tomatoes that need to be eaten. So this is perfect. Whole, just throwing them in just like that. The other day when I made my homemade marinara sauce for the chicken parm, which is, I've made it actually several times since then. I did meatballs the other night when Grant came. Okay, so we're going to let that go for just a little bit. And we want to season as we go. We don't want to wait until this soup is finished. Salt and pepper. I've got vegetable broth laid out. Of course, my favorite tomatoes, the San Marzano tomatoes. We're going to do 2 cans of peeled tomatoes. And then I'm going to do a can of these diced tomatoes that already have basil, garlic, and oregano in them. I've got a ton of basil I'm going to throw in there at the end. Put a little bit of vegetable broth. I'm going to let this cook for probably 20-30 minutes. Now, I'll tell you something else that I put in here, and I don't have it, and that's okay. We're not going to worry about it and stress about it. Is I always cut up a carrot or 2. And the reason I do carrots is because it's a natural sweetener, and so it will make this tomato soup sweet, and it'll just have a great pungent flavor. But I'm out of carrots, so I'm not going to stress about it. It's okay. No one will miss them. It's all right. I'm going to get some tomato paste out of my pantry and a bay leaf. And so we're going to drop that in and let it cook. The other secret that I put in here is a Parmesan Parmesan rind. And I keep them in the freezer in a baggie. So when you buy fresh Parmesan, if you'll hold on a minute, I'll show you. So I buy just like this, and you can get it at your cheese store, Kroger store, whatever. And so once I'm finished with this, I have some in the freezer I'm going to pull out. This rind part I keep in a baggie. And so when I'm making soups that cook for a long time, I will pop one in there. And then right before you eat, you just pull it out. I don't even know how to explain. It just adds this richness to the soup that is on the stove cooking for a while. So trust me, try it. If you buy Parmesan like this, then put it in, keep the rinds in a baggie, keep them in your freezer. When you make soup, pop them out. They're fabulous. At the very end, probably will not do this until tomorrow, because I'm gonna, once this all cooks, I'm gonna transfer it into my crock pot, because I'm taking it to work tomorrow. And then at the end, I'm going to add half and half. You can use heavy cream. You can use a little whole milk. If you don't have it, leave it out. It's okay. It just adds another layer of richness. It's going to be fabulous. And so anyway, you can serve this with grilled cheese. You can serve it with a French loaf with garlic and butter and Parmesan cheese on it. You can put that in the oven, and then that way you can dip it in there. Anyway, it's a fabulous soup, and excuse me, people love it. And it's super easy to make, and you don't have to spend a lot of time chopping, because as you saw, I just threw it into the pan, and then we're going to add our canned tomatoes and our chicken broth. And that's it. So if you have carrots, add the carrots. It's a great way for your kids to eat their vegetables also. I'm out, so we're not going to worry about it. Anyway, I hope you're having a great week. I hope you make this recipe. I will post it. And so you'll have all the ingredients listed. It's not hard. It's very simple. And go out and find yourself an immersion blender. You can buy them on, yes, you can. They have them on Amazon. And it'll get there in a couple days. And you'll have it for the fall and winter, for nights like that you want to make soup, and it's super easy, and then you don't have to spread it over to put it over into your blender. Have a great week, everybody.